Hey, what's going on? I'm Matt O'Leary back with another video, and today I'll be talking about ESPN predicting the NFL draft order for next year, where they have the Jets finishing, why I disagree, and all that fun stuff. Before we get started today, just wanted to mention you can follow me on social media at Matt O'Leary NY, and if you haven't already, please make sure to check out the Just Jets podcast, wherever it is you get your podcast. One more episode on Monday. Then for when the season starts, it'll be switched over to Wednesdays. That way we could talk about previous games and preview the game coming up ahead. So ESPN is predicting the New York Jets to have the third worst record in the NFL. Only Houston and Detroit finished with worse records in this projection. And honestly, their prediction isn't necessarily off base in terms of what the record is. I just don't think they're going to finish where they are projecting, which is third. So ESPN is saying the Jets are going to go 6-11, which I don't think is all that crazy. It's a tad on the low side for what most Jet fans are predicting. I feel like most are predicting either between 7 and 9 wins, maybe the optimistic side of up to 10. I don't see it that way, but 6-11 isn't necessarily super off base. I would say anything with 5 wins or less is probably off base for this Jets team. I think they are better than that. But a 6-win team isn't like disrespectful in any respect to the word coming to what the Jets season could be. Now they ran a few simulations, and the average draft position of the Jets was 8.5, which that seems a little bit more likely for where the Jets are going to be picking, not necessarily third. More on that in a second here. But the percentage, according to this model, of the Jets having the first overall pick is 9.7%, which was third, which I guess is why they put them there. And they are giving the Jets a 41.1% chance of having a top 5 pick. Now, I don't see the Jets finishing in the top 5. I think there are definitely 5 teams worse than the New York Jets right now. The Texans, Lions, Jaguars, Eagles, and Bengals. Those 5 teams I think are going to be the 5 worst in the league. Maybe you can say the Raiders. I'm not super high on the Raiders this year. I am also not high on the Broncos. I understand that their defense is good. I think their quarterback situation is really bad. And honestly, you could probably put the Panthers in that conversation as well. So that would put the Jets at 9. Which I think is the window you're looking at. Probably somewhere between 6th and 10th the Jets will be picking. I would say the chances of them having a top 10 pick are probably on the high side. A lot would have to break right in order for them to, pick somewhere maybe in the middle of the pack of the draft. But if I had to guess today, I would say they're probably picking 8th or 9th in the NFL draft in 2022. But I don't want to put that much energy and effort into that conversation right now because it's before the season even started yet. So I would rather go optimism. Let's talk about this year versus what's going to happen at the end of the year and going forward. So one thing I will say is I don't think you're going to see very many Jet fans wanting to tank or rooting for losses down the stretch of the season like you did last year. It's a different scenario because the Jets are a young team. So you're going to be rooting for them and the rookie quarterback to play well. So if for whatever reason, like let's say the Jets are, 6-10 heading into the final game and they end up stealing an unexpected win against the Buffalo Bills and finish the year 7-10 instead of 6-11, and they knock their draft position back a couple of slots, I think they would be excited, especially if the Bills starters are playing. If they're resting the starters, maybe that's a different story. But more of the story, if Zach Wilson plays well and ruins their draft position, no one is going to be upset about it because that would mean you have your quarterback. So that's just my take on it. I don't anticipate the Jets having a top 3 pick. I want to know, where do you project the Jets to finish in the draft conversation for 2022? Do you think it's a top 5 pick? Do you think it's top 10? Do you think they exceed and maybe pick somewhere in 15 to 20, or maybe you're super nuts and say they'll pick 32nd overall? Let me know in the comments down below or on social media. Please make sure to subscribe if you're new, and I'll talk to you next time.